So I just wanted to say that the Supreme Court siding with a woman who was claiming that she was discriminated at her job for being heterosexual, and the court deciding that 9-0 is concerning to me. I mean, I know most judges on the Supreme Court right now are like originalists. They're very, they take the plain-faced reading of the text and don't want to go any farther. And so I understand the rationale. Title IX doesn't specify between like someone in a minority group and someone in a majority group. It just says discrimination not allowed. But what's upsetting, I think, or concerning, I think a white person or a straight person should have a higher bar for proving discrimination, because it just doesn't happen. And in fact, our society is designed in such a way that straight people and white people benefit much of the time. Doesn't mean they're rich and happy and healthy. It means they don't have to deal with all kinds of discriminatory and humiliating and inhumane laws and customs that people of color have to experience, for example. So and I just think so many people don't understand this. We don't need more white people thinking they're victims. Right? I think you see the far right in the West. That is in part because there are white people thinking they are victims, and they don't know how to deal. They don't know how to deal with the changing world. The fact that the fact that we might not be. They might not have the social prestige they once did in the past. And so they get bitter and resentful, and they think of themselves as victims, right? But that's bad news. Anytime white people think of themselves as victims, bad things happen. And so people are so literal minded about this. They're like, well, obviously everyone should be protected from discrimination, but you can say that in a vacuum, but it doesn't recognize that, I as a white person, I don't face the same things that people of color face. And that if I want to claim that I'm being discriminated against based on my race, I should have a higher bar. Because most of the time, people who say that are full of it. It's also it's kind of like affirmative action. Some white people get so triggered by affirmative action. Even though affirmative action actually ends up helping white women a lot of the time as well, but that's beside the point. They're like, well, no, it should all be merit-based, bro. And it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, theoretically, sure, we want jobs to be merit-based, but we live in a racist society, and so it's not going to be merit-based, and so it makes sense to, affirmative action makes sense because these groups of people are already more likely to not succeed. And so, yeah, I mean, as usual, Supreme Court, this is, I don't think, going to be good. Again, I think more and more white people are going to use this to play the victim, and that's just not going to help anybody.